In the late 1700s, a brand new nation was struggling to find its identity. The United States had just won independence from the mighty British Empire. But freedom from Britain was only the beginning. The real challenge lay ahead. How should this young nation govern itself without repeating the mistakes of kings and tyrants? It was 1787 in Philadelphia when delegates from the 13 states gathered to write the Constitution. The Constitution was powerful. It gave America a strong central government, but not everyone felt safe. Farmers, shopkeepers, and ordinary citizens remembered too well the heavy hand of British rule. They worried, what if this new government became too powerful? What if it crushed the people's voices, just like the king once did? All across the states, debates grew louder. Some people, called Federalists, argued that the Constitution was enough. Others, known as anti-federalists, insisted that the people's rights needed stronger protection. They demanded a clear set of promises, written guarantees that no government could ignore. One of the men listening carefully was James Madison, later called the father of the Constitution. Madison believed that to unite the states, America needed a Bill of Rights, 10 simple but powerful amendments that would forever protect the people's freedom. The first spark: freedom of expression. The very first amendment became a shield for the human spirit. People would be free to speak their minds, publish their ideas, gather together, and worship as they chose. No king, no government, no official could ever silence them again. Imagine the relief of citizens who had once been jailed simply for criticizing the crown. The second promise: the right to defend. In those days, militias guarded towns and villages. People feared that if the government ever turned against them, they should have the ability to resist. And so came the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. It was not just about weapons. It was about power belonging to the people. The home becomes sacred. During the Revolutionary War, British soldiers had stormed into colonial homes, demanding food and shelter without permission. Families lived in fear of a knock on the door. The Third Amendment made sure that such violations would never happen again. No soldier could live in your home without your consent. The right to privacy. Next came the Fourth Amendment, which protected citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. No officer could barge into a house or take belongings without a proper warrant. Privacy became a cornerstone of liberty. Justice for the accused. But freedom meant little if justice was unfair. Under British rule, people had faced rigged trials, false charges, and endless punishment. The Fifth and Sixth Amendments changed everything. No one could be punished twice for the same crime. No one could be forced to confess against their will. Every accused person had the right to a fair trial, a lawyer, and a jury of peers. Justice was no longer a privilege or powerful. It was the right of every citizen. Fairness in civil disputes. The Seventh Amendment guaranteed jury trials even in civil disputes, cases about property or money. Ordinary people, not just judges, could decide the truth. The Eighth Amendment outlawed cruel punishments and excessive fines. The days of torture, whipping, or outrageous bail were over. But Madison and the framers were wise. They knew that the future would bring challenges they could not imagine. What about rights not listed in the Constitution? Would the government claim those rights didn't exist? To answer this, they created the Ninth Amendment, which said, just because a right isn't written down doesn't mean the people don't have it. Finally, the Tenth Amendment reminded everyone that power flowed not just from the national government, but also from the states and the people. It was the balance that kept tyranny at bay. In 1791, after months of debate, the Bill of Rights was ratified. These 10 amendments became the shield of freedom. They were not perfect, and America would still struggle to live up to their promise. But they stood as a declaration. The government exists to serve the people, not to control them. Over centuries, these rights guided America through wars, struggles for civil rights, and debates about liberty. From the fight for free speech to battles over privacy in the digital age, the Bill of Rights has remained alive, challenged, tested, but never forgotten. Today, every American schoolchild learns these 10 amendments. Every lawyer, every judge, and every citizen knows their importance. They remind us that freedom is not automatic. It must be protected, guarded, and cherished. The Bill of Rights is more than parchment and ink. It is a story of people who demanded their voices be heard, their homes protected, their freedoms respected. It is the heartbeat of a free nation.